Sister wives, I changed my mind. I think Robyn and Meri Brown will be friends again for this reason. For years, the dynamic between Robyn Brown and Meri Brown on Sister Wives has been one of the most complicated, puzzling, and emotional relationships on the show. Fans have witnessed moments of tension, loyalty, betrayal, and attempts at reconciliation. But recently, something seems to be shifting. After all the drama, distance, and public fallout, there's now a growing sense that Robyn and Meri could actually find their way back to being close again. At first, the idea of Meri and Robyn reconciling might sound impossible. The past has been messy. Robyn was often seen as Cody's favorite wife, while Meri's emotional needs went unmet. Fans criticized Robyn for being silent while Meri was pushed aside. And Meri herself admitted she felt betrayed at times. But here's the twist. Sometimes relationships evolve in ways no one expects. And when you look deeper, the reasons for a possible reunion of their friendship are stronger than you might think. Let's break down why I changed my mind, why the tides are turning, and why Robyn and Meri could be friends again. Reason 1: shared loneliness. When Sister Wives began, the family dynamic was centered around unity. But as the years went on, it fractured. Christine left. Janelle distanced herself. Meri was isolated, and Cody leaned almost entirely on Robyn. But here's the catch. That's not as perfect as it sounds. Even though Robyn won Cody's attention, she also lost the sense of sisterhood that came with being part of a plural family. Christine wanted nothing to do with her. Janelle's loyalty wasn't to Robyn. And Meri, though hurt, still represented the only potential ally left. In other words, Robyn's loneliness mirrors Meri's. They both ended up on the outside for very different reasons. And in that shared isolation, a new connection could spark. Sometimes when you lose everything else, you end up gravitating back to the one person who truly understands your pain. Reason 2: a history of loyalty despite all the ups and downs. Meri once stood by Robyn in ways no one else did. Remember the infamous catfish scandal? While the rest of the family judged Meri harshly, Robyn was one of the few who showed compassion. She expressed concern, she checked in, and she reminded Meri that she wasn't entirely alone. That loyalty doesn't just disappear. Deep down, Robyn knows that Meri has defended her too. In the earlier seasons, Meri was instrumental in welcoming Robyn into the family. She legally divorced Cody so he could marry Robyn for custody reasons. That sacrifice was huge. It cost Meri her position as the only legal wife, and yet she still did it, for the sake of Robyn and her kids. And no matter how distant they became later, that kind of loyalty plants a seed. It's not surprising to imagine Robyn realizing, at some point, that she owes Meri more gratitude than resentment. And for Meri, Robyn may represent the last piece of family history she still feels connected to. Reason 3: Cody's decline in influence. Here's another twist in the story. As Cody's relationships crumble, his influence is shrinking. Once his word was law. If Cody distanced himself from Meri, the other wives followed suit. But now, Cody's grip on the family is gone. Christine lives her own life. Janelle has found her independence, and even Meri has finally chosen her own path. This leaves Robyn in a strange position. For years, her bond with Cody isolated her from the other wives. But if Cody's power over the family is fading, Robyn may not want to remain in that isolation forever. She might start reaching out, realizing that Cody alone isn't enough to sustain her emotionally. That shift makes Meri the perfect person to reconnect with. Both women understand what it's like to love Cody and lose parts of themselves in the process. In a way, Robyn and Meri could bond over the fallout of their loyalty to him. Reason 4: public pressure and image. Fans have been vocal. Over and over again, audiences criticized Robyn for not standing up for Meri when she was being mistreated. Social media is filled with comments calling Robyn the reason Meri stayed so miserable for so long. Robyn isn't oblivious. She's emotional, and she cares deeply about how she's perceived. If she wants to repair her public image, one of the most effective moves she could make is reconciling with Meri. Showing kindness and rebuilding that friendship wouldn't just benefit her personally, it would also soften her image for fans who have branded her the villain. Meri, on the other hand, has nothing to lose by extending forgiveness. In fact, she has already stepped into a more empowered, independent version of herself. By choosing to reconnect with Robyn, she could demonstrate strength, maturity, and the ability to rise above the past. That's exactly the kind of narrative Meri supporters would applaud. Reason 5. The power of forgiveness. At its core, Sister Wives has always been about family, faith, and forgiveness. Meri has talked at length about her belief in second chances. Robyn too often speaks about spiritual principles of compassion and understanding. It wouldn't be shocking if both women eventually leaned on these values to mend fences. The ability to forgive doesn't erase the past, but it does open the door to a better future. And given how fractured the family has become, a renewed friendship between Robyn and Meri could be one of the few things that restores a sense of hope. Why now? The timing is important. Christine is happily remarried. Janelle is thriving on her own. Cody is withdrawn and focused only on Robyn. And Meri has stepped into a new chapter of independence. That leaves Robyn in an emotional vacuum. She's clinging to a husband who has lost much of his support system. She's raising kids in a fractured family. And she's mourning the dream of plural marriage that collapsed in front of her. Meri, too, is redefining her identity. She's no longer tied to Cody in the way she once was. She's building businesses, focusing on self-love, and learning to put herself first. But at the same time, Meri still values family connections. She doesn't want to walk away from every single piece of her past. That's where the opportunity lies. Right now, both women are vulnerable. Both are searching for stability. And both, in their own way, are tired of being misunderstood. The future of their friendship, if Robyn and Meri do rebuild their bond, it could reshape the entire Sister Wives narrative. Imagine new episodes where instead of tension and rivalry, viewers witness growth, healing, and unexpected friendship. That storyline would keep fans hooked, not because of the drama, but because of the hope. There's also the possibility that their friendship could become a form of quiet resistance. By leaning on each other, Robyn and Meri wouldn't be defined by Cody's control anymore. They could prove that even after heartbreak and division, women can rise together stronger than before. Of course, skeptics will say it's too late. Too much has been said. Too much has been done. And maybe they're right. But Sister Wives has always thrived on unpredictability. Just when you think you know what will happen, the family surprises you. Final thoughts: I changed my mind about Robyn and Meri because when you really look closely, their